Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the podcast series, The Hero of the Mirror. I hope all of you have started to acknowledge and embrace your hero story. Or if you're in the midst of a challenge, I hope these episodes inspire you to tackle those challenges head on and to come out of that challenge triumphant and resilient. With us today, we have another brave guest to tell us their hero story. We have today Kenneth Lo. Kenneth Lo is the co-founder of ZenBiz.co with a career path that includes Big Four, startups, venture capital, private equity, AI consultancy, and angel investing. He specializes in data analytics, AI, and digital marketing, and is a 2-time Masters world champion and 4-time national champion in track cycling. Great achievements, Ken. Thank you so much for hopping on, Ken. It's an honor to have you here on our episodes. And with that, I want to kick things off and ask you, what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced on your hero's journey, and how did you overcome them?
For that, I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to go at it.
Go for it.
Cancer didn't claim me, and I'm here, and I'm grateful to be 2 feet above ground. I'm going to start with that. How long ago was it? It was on Valentine's Day this past year. Okay. Not this past year, like 2024. I got diagnosed. I got told I got stage 2 cancer. And then a month afterward, I got wheeled into an operating room and got the tumor removed. And then what followed was even more gruesome. It was the chemo and radiation. So all my treatment finished August. And it's been a while now. And I'm just so appreciative of this gift. This condition, this disease that I got, is actually been a gift. So it's hard to unpack. And I'm still processing it every day. But I just think that, all this resilience, all these new relationships, all these definitions of life and timeline has been the biggest gifts and biggest unlocks.
That's super profound, and facing that type of challenge must have been very difficult, very eye-opening. So how did you and how do you still stay motivated in the face of such adversity?
I have to be honest, I'm still learning every day. Like before the show, I was telling you, a good friend gifted me this book called Becoming Supernatural. And it's a renowned MD, and he's talk about basically using thoughts to heal yourself. I mean, medicine absolutely has its place, especially for acute diseases and some conditions. But there's certain things that are more chronic. And, you don't just have to rely on medicine. And so that's just one of the ways that I would continue to push my boundaries and learning new things, leaning on new people, rekindling relationships that went stale. Why I find that it was a gift for that?
Yeah, go ahead.
It gives me a reason. Hey, dude, I'm alive. This is my latest picture in spandex. That's my opening. I don't need an excuse for that because that is a good way to send people a text. And just that act alone has rekindled many relationships. Some of them are actually in our mutual circle.
Ken, thank you for that. That's a good start, definitely. Ken, I want to ask, what role did support systems such as family or mentors play in your journey?
X-Force. For those that are in the MCU, X-Force is not the X-Men. It's the people that couldn't make it to the X-Men A crew. This is like the JV team that put together. And so I just lean on my X-Men, my X-Force, and everybody so much. Why, Fidel? Because I've always been a little robust, pretty energetic as a little kid. Strength has never been a problem for me. I will play with some toys and then they just biodegraded right in front of my eyes, or they just broke because they were poorly made. And when I was diagnosed and then I got operated on, and then all the stuff, it was like one recovery after another, and then it's the next treatment cycle is waiting. I had no strength left. So I couldn't even make the right decision. I couldn't even, do the daily stuff, walking and all that. It was very difficult. And I did a thing that was a little unconventional. I started a WhatsApp group with about 100 of my friends. And I Every day I send them a little video, and it's very graphic. It's very raw. Some of it is like me at a clinic getting blood drawn. Some of it is I'm in a chair getting infusion. Some of it is just me looking at the scale. I lost 20 pounds over 1 week. So all of it was a way for me to first. It was therapeutic for me to be sharing that, and I absolutely pissed off certain people. They get, look, Ken, what are you doing? I don't want part of that. That's okay. But
Yeah.
I get to say about 10, 15, 12 maybe, I'm exaggerating. They actually say, damn, Ken, that's inspirational. I say, I'm not inspiring nobody. I needed help. I need you to bring me ice cream because I couldn't swallow anything. I need you to bring me ginger ale because that's the only thing that I could taste. Everything tastes like metallic. Let me tell you a story. My wife went to the farmer's market, got some Rainier cherries. I think they were in season, but they were still like, I don't know, $9 or $8 a pound. So like a premium thing. And I had one and say, babe, why don't you put sriracha in it? I don't like sriracha in my cherries. She put one in my mouth and said, oh man, your taste buds are so messed up thanks to the chemo radiation.
So I think a lot of people have probably had this where your taste buds change whenever you get sick or you get the flu. I know when I had COVID, I started tasting a metallic type of taste, but sriracha, that's a new one. Never had that.
But nothing else tastes like sriracha. That's the problem. Everything tastes metallic, but the cherries that I really want to cherish, really want to enjoy at that moment, ended up being sriracha, and it's got a mind of its own. And 2 days later, it probably tastes different.
Yeah, thank you for that story, Ken. And again, it's amazing and an honor to have you here based on everything that you've been through. So with that said, how do you currently define success, and how has that definition of success changed or evolved over time with you?
So now the timeline is more defined, is redefined, is more finite. And so I have this philosophy now with the end game in mind. It's kind of like another MCU movie, end game.
Yeah.
So my sole criteria is pretty simple. At my funeral, hopefully I have more than one imaginary friend showing up, and they would say, Ken isn't an asshole. He has a positive impact on my life. And it could be one joke, bad joke, good joke. It could be one encounter. It could be one mentoring session. It could be one text, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
If I got more than one person at my funeral claiming that, I think I will be more than happy.
Definitely. It's safe to say that some friendships are more valuable than gold.
Absolutely. And, there are friendships, they're not meant to last. And I think it's okay. It serves its lifespan, right? But I think like there are always people in your tribe, and they may always be around you. But because you never really had that bonding experience, it never really flourished into that full potential. And because of this one gift that I received this past year, I was able to, not all, a handful of these relationships. And I think it's going to be at a level that I would never be able to reach if I continue to kind of chug along and be, healthy, continue the race and, sweep some of the problems under the rug. Nothing will actually manifest.
I definitely want to ask Ken, do you have any races coming up, or are you taking a break?
I'm itching. If you guys on Strava, I would love to share my Strava. I actually been pushing the body pretty hard. Why? I'm actually also very grateful that I've been doing all this silly thing to the body before I even got sick, because the foundation was there.
Yeah.
When I received a chemo, oh my God, it was rough. But because I've actually done some training, physical hard training, that is almost that bad. That many times, I was puking right after a 20-second workout off the bike like a bucket. And because I already had that experience, I flirted with that on my terms, because I sent myself to the velodrome, right? It was on my terms. When the treatment came, I didn't really have a lot of time to prep. It was like, okay, dude, you're going to this clinic, and after this clinic, you go to another clinic. I got a little say in it, and so it was lucky I have that foundation. I got that the body have experienced that before, so it wasn't totally foreign when it came. I wouldn't say it was easy. It was still very hard. It was very demoralizing. But because I got some experience to draw from, so I'm really grateful. So that's why I'm still pushing it on my terms. And whether I ever go back to racing, I don't know. But I think right now I'm about 85% of my conditioning. So I'm very, very, very grateful.
I'm a big proponent of training and working out, and I do think that those exercises build calluses not only in your mind and in your body. So when you do come across some crazy challenges or obstacles, you have that tough mentality to be able to endure and potentially even overcome them. So since this really grueling journey that you've had, what habits have changed in your life? Maybe good habits, positive habits, less of some, more of others?
Oh, I think like when you and I first met, I was actually a customer of yours, and I was very particular about things. There's a certain routine that I would like, oh, this product should fit this roadmap. Otherwise, it's a defect. I've actually become a lot more, not lenient, but like more compassionate about different things, different angles. Maybe
Yeah.
things are meant to be that way. So
Mhm.
as a way, as a sense, it's kind of like more adaptable
Yeah.
in a sense, and some imperfection. As I think that's the beauty of it. So it boils down to embracing the unknown, kind of like that book, Becoming Supernatural. If you continue to repeat what you do day in and day out, you already set your future. The future is going to equal the past because you have the same responses, right? The electromagnetic energy and whatever quantum thing is sending out is already predicting the future. So now I'm changing things. If I'm like always taking the same path to pick up lunch, I'm actually going to take a different path. I'm going to actually walk backward for half a block. It sounds funny. I try to be very careful not to get run over. But just like embracing the unknown, and things are starting to loosen up, start to change,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't fully understand it. I'm very much of a novice when it comes to this.
Yeah.
I just started listening to this book, for a few days, but I just like embrace the unknown, and if things are not going that well, start with yourself. Start with changing how you perceive it, how you send out your aura, how you send out the energy, and I think things will most likely be different.
Ken, that was beautiful. I think I might have to play that back. If something is wrong, sometimes it just needs a change of your perspective.
And for that, I want to share this one thing. I mean, like, there's
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
many mind-boggling thing I've encountered, and like just changing one word is like why. I've been asking why. Why does it work like that? No. How would we make that work? Instead of asking why, we're changing how. Now you're like summoning your energy, your creativity, your
Yeah.
brilliance, and then
Yeah.
voila, and then you have a solution. And when you do it enough of it, I say maybe 1 out of 10, 1 out of 100,
Yeah.
something is gonna pop up in front of you. It's freaky. I don't want to sound like like a new age person. I'm actually of old age. uh, but I think like there's something to it. It's like, okay, uh, you live in a busy area. I live in San Francisco. It's also a busy area. Finding parking, if you were to drive, around downtown area, is impossible. If you keep thinking, oh, I will never find parking, well, guess what? You will never see parking. But if you keep saying, oh, I will find parking, I will find parking, I bet 1 out of 10 times you're gonna have a better chance. Try that out.
Changing that process to a positive one is important. And those negative thoughts really do multiply 1,000 times faster than positive thoughts. Well, Ken, I have one more question for you. What advice or message would you like to share to someone who is struggling to overcome similar challenges in their hero's journey?
Hmm. So there's no such thing as readiness. Forget about that idea. You can't get ready for cancer, right? So I think the best thing to do is foolish to wait for the right or perfect moment. You tackle everything in bite-sized chunks. You flow with it. It's like water, my friend. And then momentum is built micro step by micro step. You adapt, you have trust, you have faith in yourself. And it starts not one day, it starts day one. Today is day one. It starts now.
That's very profound, and thank you for that, Ken. All right. Well, thank you for everybody for hopping on this third podcast episode. Ken, it was a pleasure having you on the podcast today. For our folks listening, I hope Ken's story has inspired you to face your challenges head on or any obstacles that you currently have. And more importantly, to acknowledge and embrace your hero story. And of course, remember to smile when you see that hero in the mirror. If you do need or want to connect with Ken, please feel free to reach out to him. He's also a guru at marketing through zenbiz.co. So please feel free to reach out to him on any marketing related inquiries. Ken, thanks again. Much appreciated. Take care, everybody. Cheers.